Do you find yourself constantly tired of your own shit, essentially? Excuse my French, but constantly stuck and frustrated. You feel that nothing ever goes your way, everything never goes as planned. These people are always doing things to you, the world is against you. Today, I will be showing you how you can get past this and live in a lighter way, live in a more things always going your way, live in a more everything always works out for you way. Well, let's dive right in. Do you ever, if you ever find yourself constantly stuck in a certain experience that happened to you or a certain act that someone did to you, and you find yourself replaying these stories and repeating these narratives and constantly experiencing the same things through different people or different experiences? This will offend a lot of people. Not because I am going to say anything offensive, but because they will be offended at what I'm going to say. And so, why does this happen? Why do we feel constantly stressed, constantly everything is always going wrong for you? Why? We do this thing as humans where we unconsciously, I like to think, I mean, if you were conscious of it, you would do different, right? You would desire more and better things for yourself if you were conscious and aware of this thing that you're doing that is keeping you stuck. So I'm going to say that we do this unconsciously. However, no, I think it's yeah. So, but if you're watching this video, you are developing the awareness or have developed the awareness to understand and know that something needs to change. So you already have some amount of conscious understanding that there's better and there's other ways of living, right? We do this thing as humans where we unconsciously attach ourselves to suffering. If you pay a little attention to your surroundings, to yourself and your self talk, you will notice that there's a repeating pattern in the things that you have suffered. The most painful experiences in your life and the people that hurt you the most, you'll find yourself telling these stories over and over and over again. We put a band-aid on a wound as humans. We do this through people, through relationships, through being a shitty boss, through being a bad friend, through being and we're gonna redo that. We're gonna redo that. That was a little harsh. We're gonna redo it. You know what? No, fuck it. We're here for that. We're here for that. So we do this through many different ways, through drugs, addictions, sex, binge eating, binge watching shows. We do anything and everything to not face ourselves and not face our pain, which is ironic because the very pain and suffering that you have been through is the very thing that you continue to perpetually put yourself back into again. So we put ourselves into these experiences that we don't want to experience. And then when we experience them, to learn what we need to learn and move in a different light, we use external everything and anything outside of you, external buying cars, getting your teeth done, fillers, Botox, surgical procedures. However, and like I've been there, done that. I get it. There's nothing wrong with going through that process as long as you get out of it at some point. But you can't, for the rest of your life, be stuck. I mean, you can. You're going to live a very miserable life and age very quickly. So you can. But it wouldn't benefit you and your evolution and your growth if you continue to repeat these stories. Like, to give you an example, you're at work and you have had a very difficult client. Again, somebody else who hasn't done the inner work, and so they bring out all of their shit onto everyone else. And again, that's okay. We have to go through that process. I've been there, done that in relationships where I've tried to control everything and everyone outside of me because I felt that I didn't have control over myself. And that's okay as long as you at some point get out of that and do better. You can't stay in that forever. Again, you can, you're gonna live a very miserable life. So say you're at work and you have this very difficult client and it just ruined the rest of your day. As if you know what the rest of your day is going to look like. Anyways, so you allow this to happen. And so you have this client and it's almost a traumatizing experience for you. It's a difficult experience. You have to tell somebody because, oh my God, I can't believe that this person just put me through this. You go and tell another coworker and you tell the story, and whether you realize it or not, your body is experiencing the emotions that you experienced during that the first time. Again, every time that you tell this story, you're going through it again. Every time you think about it, your nervous system is going through those emotions again. So you experience this thing with the client, whatever, they leave. Great. Now you have to tell everybody because, oh my God, what a fucking difficult job I work in that I have to deal with these difficult people. So you go and you tell your coworker, oh my God, I can't believe they did that to you. Yeah, me neither. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. You go and tell your other coworker because one wasn't enough. You have to get this out of you. So you go and tell your other coworker, oh my God, can you believe that? Oh, you go and tell your friend, oh my God, you would not believe what happened to me today. You go and tell your mother, Mom, what a shitty day I had. You won't believe what this person did to me. And a million things that were absolutely miraculous and beautiful and astonishing and surprising could have happened to you the remainder of that day. But because you're still stuck on that, you can't experience the great stuff that happened to you. And so you experience this bad client and you tell the whole world about it and you repeat the same narrative over and over and over and over again, and you re-experience your same emotions over and over and over and over again. And so you're stuck on this constant cycle of suffering and suffering because you experienced the suffering with the client and it didn't stop there. You continued to make other people suffer and experience the suffering that you went through over and over again. So now you become the client. And now you are putting out all the nasty suffering that client put you through like to all the people around you and everyone that you have to tell this thing to. And oh man. And so you continue on this cycle and loop of suffering, of all the shitty things that everybody has done to you and all the terrible experiences that you have been through, and oh my God, suffer, my suffering, my pain, but I have been through so much. How can I let go of this suffering that makes me who I am? Incorrect. That does not make you who you are. The way in which you respond to that suffering is what makes you who you are. If you experience suffering and all you do is accumulate that suffering, bring it to other people's suffering, and now everybody around you is suffering, you're suffering, and now you become the very thing that you are suffering about. Like, so you're on this cycle of suffering and this tornado of suffering, and you're bringing everyone and everything in with you with your suffering. Where does it end? How does it end? When you get tired of your own shit. That's how and when you get tired of your own shit. When you wake up one moment and you realize that everything that you have been doing has led you to where you are today. You're not happy to where you are today, so you realize that you have to do something different to get a different result. Because if you continue to do the same thing, repeat the same patterns, say the same things, inevitably you're gonna get the same results. So something has to change. So here you are watching this video because you understand that something has to change. So congratulations. You have made it out of, in my opinion, the hardest step. So you're in this cycle, right? And how do we get out of it? How do we get out of this cycle? And why does this happen? Why do we get in this cycle? Well, I think there's a few reasons why this happens. One of the reasons is to connect to people subconsciously, like trauma bonding. There you go. That's a perfect term to describe that, trauma bonding. Oftentimes you maybe feel that you probably don't know this yet, but you lack the love in yourself, or you have an certain understanding of it, but you don't really understand. You have to stand under something to stand under it so that you can understand from the bottom up. You can read something and learn something, but until you apply it, break down the complexity of that idea and truly, truly resonate with it and understand what that means, then you have become wise. You've gained the wisdom from that experience or that thing. Why does this happen? Well, we want to connect as humans. And what's one thing that all humans go through? Suffering. We all suffer at some point or another. What's another reason? It's value or self-worth. You get a sense of identity, of value, of self-worth from this suffering because you beat cancer. You've been through all of these things. You've been raped, you whatever. You've been through all of these difficult things, and so now you believe that part of your identity is attached to that suffering. And oh my God, who am I without that suffering? Because it's lived with you for so long that it's quite literally part of you now. So, who am I without all the pain that I've endured? But I have a better question for you. Who could you be without letting all that pain that you endured affect who you are? Who would you be if you grabbed all that energy, that nastiness and in all that suffering and all that pain, and you turned it into your biggest power to become exactly the opposite of what caused you that pain, and not continue to be part of the problem but rather part of the solution? Who would you be? As long as you continue to attach your identity to that suffering, to that pain, to that lack of power, it is going to continue to control you. It is going to continue to have this momentum. It's only going to get worse until you realize that that's not your identity. The suffering and the pain that you went through is not who you are. Again, rather, how you got through that and the type of person that you became after experiencing that is who you are. So, what's the point? If you experience all of this suffering that all of these people and all of these experiences put you through, what's the point of going through that suffering to put other people through that same suffering? Whether you're being consciously active towards that or not, a simple story, a simple repeated story of what happened to you and that suffering to other people is enough to become the type of person that caused you suffering. Because every time, every time you experience a memory, if you haven't gone back in time, and that's a whole nother video. I'm not gonna teach you how to time travel, calm down, but I will teach you how you can not let that past suffering or future fear of suffering dictate the actions that you take. And so, as long as you continue to identify yourself with that suffering, with that experience, with that pain, and think that without that pain, you wouldn't be who you are today, it's going to have control over you. Now, there's a difference. Like, yes, suffering is absolutely necessary to grow and to grow wiser and to give you the opportunities to make better choices next time. Because without the suffering and without the mistakes and without all of this, you can't learn. Like, yeah, you can learn from other people's experiences, absolutely, but there are certain things that you specifically have to experience on your path for you to evolve into the human that you're meant to evolve. How much longer? How much longer are you going to continue to let your past experiences or future fears, which fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real? It's a man-made construct to keep you safe. It's a new it's a new experience, and so you feel uncomfortable, you don't feel safe, and that's fear. It's the emotion that you attach to the result of going into the unknown. And you have the option to place whatever emotion you want on fear, since you don't know, it's the unknown. So if you don't know, you're not psychic, you can't see the future. Why would you attach yourself to a negative outcome when you don't know the outcome? Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. So it's up to you. It's your choice. Do you think you can or do you think you can't? Either way, you're right. It hasn't happened yet, so nobody knows. And the conviction in which you move oftentimes dictates the outcome of that. So if you move in the conviction that without any conviction, and you believe that holy shit, it's gonna go terrible, it's gonna go terrible. If you move with conviction and confidence that this is gonna work out for me and it's gonna go perfect, it's gonna go exactly as it needs to go, well, then you're gonna release the reins to God or the universe, your higher self, whoever you believe in. Now you get to live in the present. Now you get to experience what it is to live in the present. And you get to be grateful. And you get to be joyful. And you get to be happy. And you get to be part of the solution, not the problem. And you get to cause people love and joy and laughter instead of suffering like all those other people caused you. How do you move out of this? You stop identifying yourself with your suffering. It's not your suffering, it's not your pain. Start there. Stop naming it yours. You don't own anything. Everything is borrowed in this earth, in this life, in this one experience, or many, but this one specifically. Who knows? Either way, it's borrowed. At the end of our days, when you're laying on your deathbed, you can't take anything with you. You can't take your car, you can't take your house, you can't take your money, you can't take your kids, you can't take your pets. You can't take anything with you. Nothing belongs to you. This is all borrowed. This is all a gift from God, from your highest self, from the universe, from whoever you want to name it and believe in. It's all a gift. What are you going to do with this gift? Man, do I wish I had this video when I was going through some stuff. Oof. So here's how you detach yourself from suffering. Stop naming it yours. Stop saying it's yours. It's not yours. It's an experience that you had in this life to evolve into the human that you need to evolve to achieve all the dreams that you want to achieve. That's it. It's a tool. It's a tool that you either use or beat people up with. It's a tool that you either use to build your house or destroy others. That's all. It's a tool. The suffering is not yours. Stop attaching yourself to the suffering. It's not your depression, it's not your anxiety, it's not your cancer, it's not your disease, it's not yours. It is a symptom of you not going within and accessing the healing power that God, the universe, your highest self has and is readily accessible right now in the present moment for you to access and take advantage of. And how do you do that? Well, try meditating. That's a big one. Psychedelics are a big one that are growing now. It doesn't require a whole lot. And meditation doesn't have to be this grand thing where you for your entire day. It could be as simple as, you know what? While I'm brushing my teeth, I'm going to be present and pay attention to how the bristles in the brush go through my teeth, and pay attention to how it feels it going in the grooves, and pay attention to the taste and the smell. It's so minty and fresh, and the color and the experience. Be present in the experience, and that is enough for you to heal yourself. When we came into this earth, okay, I'm going off topic here. That's for another video. Off topic. Sorry. I just have so much to share with you that I know will help you. And so this is so crooked. Sorry. I just realized I was like, skirt. Is that? I can't see. Anyways. Nope. I think that's worse. Is it? I can't tell. Is that crooked? Or is my phone? Doesn't matter. Back to the topic. So detach yourself from your suffering, from the suffering. It's not yours. See, even I make the mistake sometimes. And so you're not perfect. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna find yourself in the same like patterns, because of course it's a pattern that you develop and you get comfortable in that pattern, and it feels very uncomfortable, and like I just want to crawl out of my skin to actually face all the shit that you have been accumulating and don't realize, and get rid of all of those patterns that have been holding you back and haven't allowed you to develop solid relationships, especially with yourself. Haven't allowed you to experience real love, joy, don't allow you to feel fulfilled no matter how hard you work and how much you do and how much you accomplish and how many trophies you get, and none of that, and how many new cars and houses and clothes and how much you go shopping and how much clothes and shoes and jewelry you buy, and how many decor, and none of that is going to get you what you want. None of that is going to make you feel fulfilled. Anything and everything external outside of you will never bring you fulfillment. It's going to be an endless battle, you're never going to have enough money, you're never going to have enough anything. It could be food, it could be entertainment, it could be sex, it could be relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, marriages, kids, whatever. Anything and everything outside of you that you place the power to dictate your fulfillment would not bring you fulfillment. Why? Because that is only found within. That is only found inside. That is only found through presence, through doing the work that is necessary, through understanding your triggers and understanding why, and not allowing them to turn into action, to have self-control and discipline. I mean, I could go on. The list is literally endless. But as long as you continue to attach yourself to everything and anything outside of you, you're not going to find fulfillment. So how do you develop presence so that you can heal yourself? And that's not to say that you're sick or broken, You're whole and complete, but you need to rearrange your inner parts. You're a beautiful puzzle that the pieces are all over the place. You need to grab your pieces and put them together to form this beautiful puzzle that you are. You're not broken. You're not missing anything. You're whole and complete and healthy. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. Now, does your reality reflect that? Perhaps not. Perhaps yes. Don't know. If your reality doesn't reflect that, then you have some inner work to do. And mind you, if you've been doing inner work and your reality is still not reflecting that, it does take some time. So be patient and continue to do the work. So detach yourself from the suffering. It's not yours. Be present so that you can get rid of all of the problems which are non-existent, because now in the present moment, right now, do you have any problems? Right now. As you're watching this video, do you have any problems? Yeah, but I have this bill due. No, but I did this. No, but I have this that I'm dealing with, this consequence that I'm dealing right now as you're watching this. Any problems at all? No? No. Is your house on fire? No. Are you dead? No, because you wouldn't be watching this. So, develop presence. How do you do that? You pay attention to what you're doing in the moment in which you're doing it. As simple as when you're brushing your teeth. Again, feel all of the sensations. Don't think about all the things that you have to do in your day when you're brushing your teeth, or watch an entire movie when you're trying to eat your food. Be in the present moment. If you're doing something in that moment, be in that moment. Don't be somewhere else. And that's how you develop presence little by little until you can actually sit still at least for 20, 30, 40 seconds to meditate and access this the same way. But start little. I don't expect you to sit still for 60 minutes on your first meditation. It's going to take time. So start with something as little as being present in the task in which you're doing. You're making your coffee in the morning. You're grabbing your coffee. Pay attention to every little detail. Be present in the moment, not in your head. And that's your first step to not allow your suffering to dictate who you are, but rather become who you desire to be because of what you learned through that suffering. And this will allow you to not be part of the problem and have everybody else around you suffer too because you suffered. That's not very fair, is it? Well, life is not fair. No. Fuck off. Like, whoop, bleep. Sorry. It doesn't have to be that way. And whatever you put out is what you give. It's a universal law. Cause and effect. So maybe because you take the suffering and make other people suffer too because life is not fair to you, maybe you're in this constant rut and cycle of, well, they made me suffer, so I'll make them suffer, and now they're gonna make me suffer, and it's like this constant, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing here? Detach yourself from the suffering. What you have been through does not make you who you are. How you move through that and who you are today, who you choose and desire to be, is who you are. How you treat people is who you are. How you treat yourself is who you are. And what's that term? Spoiler alert. How you treat yourself is going to either give you a bigger bandwidth to treat other people better or worse. So if you can't treat yourself with respect, if you can't do the things that you tell yourself you're going to do, if you can't love yourself and prioritize and have strict boundaries, and if you can't prioritize your needs in general, how could you possibly cultivate the relationship and experience and environment that somebody else could benefit from, that you've benefited from somebody else at some point in your life? Your entire life hasn't been, there's no way. Like, there's a balance in life, cause and effect. There has to be something good that happened in your life. So you could be something good that happened in somebody else's life. Why not? Why not you? Why not? Detach yourself from the suffering. That does not make you who you are. Detach yourself from your suffering. It's not your anxiety. It's not your depression. It's not your cancer. It's not your this, your that. And as long as you continue to make it yours, it will make you its. It will have control over you. Detach yourself from it. It's not yours. It's simply an experience that you have been put through to as a test to see if you evolve or not. Are you going to evolve or not? If any of this was helpful or you felt anything inside, if this triggered you, if you laughed at any point, if anything at all, if this did anything for you, feel free to share it with somebody who you believe might benefit as well. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Thank you for watching. My name is Eliani Espada, helping you transform on skin and within. See you next time. Whoa! Rapid fire, baby. God damn. That was intense. Woo!